Well, as the weekend began, we only can do so much on this particular episode. So today, because of my personal life going on, I decided just to focus on two events. The first one is with Stardom as we continue with day 7 of the Goddesses of Stardom Tag League. So we are going to cover at least 3 Blue Goddess matches and also 2 Red Goddesses as well. Of course, with non-tournament matches as well. And then of course we move on with All Elite Wrestling with Collision. We have very interesting matches. We got the AEW World Trios Championship also on the line and various other matches as well. And then we cap up our episode with some news updates to give you guys update on what's been happening in the world of pro wrestling, such as what events the promotions are throwing out, who's booked, what matches are set, including developments that are happening in the world of pro wrestling as we speak. So, let's get ready for another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Hey everyone, welcome to Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, Jay right here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel where we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK, anywhere in the world pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also, of course, do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also, of course, do more news updates. If certain information was unable to be on this episode, I can either put it on the next episode or on a separate video by itself. We also, of course, do real-timing news updates to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of pro wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We also, of course, got the Unagi Sayaka Watch and various other cool wrestling content as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us. Click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool wrestling content as well. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or a nice comment in the description down below. Now, all introductions are set aside. I believe it's time to get some showtime. So, let's begin with Stardom. Okay, we continue with more from Stardom's Goddesses of Stardom Tag League. We are now in day 7. This is their much recent event. So let's begin with our first match, part of the Blue Goddesses block. We have a bit of a somewhat of a Neo Genesis showdown. We have team number 1, Suzuki and Starlight Kid, taking on Kohaku, who is not an official member, but she teams up with Meisera, who is an official member. Now, however, I think many of you would think that one will win out of the other. I mean, some of you may have thought in your honest opinions that maybe Zuzu and Starlight Kid would pick up the one, but no. That match somehow ended up in a 10-20 minute time limit draw, giving them the point each. However, the point system goes, Zuzu and Starlight Kid have the total of 3 points, while Kohaku and Meisera only the total of 5. Now let's jump into two of the non-tournament matches. Our first one is a 3-way tag match. We have Hate, consistent of Saya Kamitani and Konami, versus EXV's Rian and Hanako versus Cosmic Angels, Seika Kurara and Natsupoi. So this is the first time these two team up. Now, for the record, for anybody who's asking, No, Tam Nakano, Aya Sakura, and Sarina were not participating in this particular event. Reason is this: Tam and Aya Sakura were in Anjo, which is the hometown of Tam, where there was a one female match in New Japan. As for Sayuri Nui, she was participating in a Sendai Girls event where she faces Meiko Satomura, but hopefully I get a chance to see that. But anyway, the match is predictable when it comes to three. Now, there have been a bit of side of improvement with Brianna. As you know, she is the latest rookie. But unfortunately, she was not the one that picked up the win. It was Konami when she applied a triangle lancer. And just like that, it was completely over. Now, our next match, we have Neo Genesis consistent of Miyu Amasaki and Azumi taking on a very interesting makeshift team. Yuna Mizumori representing the Cosmic Angels, and of course, Micah of EXV. Now, you may think that this combination will not work. Well, apparently, Micah decided to have a little bit of fun with Yuna Mizumori, leaving her by herself. And of course, you would think that Yuna Mizumori was unfair. I mean, it's not cool what Micah because of that smug face of hers. Sooner or later, will get her payback against her one way or the other. But it was Azumi with the Azumi Sushi on Yuna. Just like that, it was completely over. Now, our next two matches are part of the Blue Goddesses block. We have Hate, consistent of our current tag champions, Tekla and Momo Watanabe. Now, remember, Tekla was out for a while due to the fact of her injury. They face against God's Eyes, Lady C, and Hina. Of course, there have been some good women's, not to mention Lady C's Giant Swing is one of those things. But unfortunately, it was Momo Watanabe with the Hito Tenache onto Lady C that allowed them to win. And then, of course, they put out a promo in their post match. I don't know what they were talking about, but Tekla, as you know, she still has some unfinished business with her former pal, and that is, of course, Natsupoi. So we'll see what happens until then. Now, as we continue with more of the Blue Goddesses block, we have Devil Princess, um, Azusa Inaba, and Rina taking on Ringori, consistent of Saida and Hanan. Now, of course, a bit of a showdown between the two sisters, Rina and Hanan. Don't forget, Hanan is the eldest of the three sisters. But you probably would assume that Hanan will be the one to pick up the win. But unfortunately, it was Azusa Inaba with a pinfall onto Ida that allowed her to pick up the win. So that sets it up. However, they left with 4 points and 1 point from 4 points for Devil Princess, and as for Wingori, only one. So basically, they're currently at the bottom. Now, our next two matches are part of the Red Goddesses. We have a God's Eye showdown. We have Rane Yagami and Tomoka Inaba taking on Saki Kashima and Shuri. Now, of course, when it comes to Kashima, she is taking things a bit more seriously. So she was intending to end this whole thing with the Kishikasi on various occasions. But unfortunately, she ended up on the wrong side of the Michinoku driver by Tomoka Inaba, allowing them to pick up finally their first 2 points. So they have 2 points. As for Kashima and Shuri, 4 points. So, yeah. Now, our next match, we have BMI 2000, consistent of course, members of Hate, Raka, and Natsuko Tora. They take on Peach Rock, consistent of star members Momo, Kogo, and Mayu Utani. Now, of course, there'll be dirty tactics coming from Hate, as always. But, however, it was the icon herself who prevailed with a moonsault on Natsuko Tora, allowing her to pick up the win. So, just like that, it was over. So, we're completely done here. So let's move on with AEW Collision. Okay, AEW Collision, our final review. It opened up with the House of Black taking on, of course, the Iron Savages. Now, of course, with the Iron Savages, with their usual opening shenanigans, well, the House of Black did not flinch. But you can guess by watching this, the House of Black did not break a sweat. Jack Jameson ended up with of course, with the 3 header, and just like that, it was over. It was, of course, Malachi Black that picked up the win. However, in a surprise post match, FTR made their way to the ring, and apparently they wanted to do something about, of course, because they're tag team, and they're asking which members of the House of Black are intending to challenge them, and of course, is none other than Brody King and Malachi Black, better known as the Kings of the Black Throne. So that's going to happen next week. But Malachi Black did say to them, good luck. Now, Leo Rush, as you know, apparently he has things from his past. If you guys know what I'm talking about, we're talking about MVP and the Hurt Syndicate. It appears that he wants to do something for them. Apparently, as you know, they have declared war against Swerve. So Leo Rush suggested that he will be taking care of that for them. So let's see what that turns around. Now, our next match is part of the 4-way series for the tag team titles. Private Party getting their own private view to see up close as possible to see what happens. We have, of course, Top Flight and the Outrunners. Now, FTR, as you know, they decided that they want to support the Outrunners because they felt it's their time now. And that's exactly what happened. But there was a moment where you think there was a dissension between both the brothers, Dante and Darius. But in the end, it was the total recall by the Outrunners onto Dante Martin that allowed them to pick up the win. And of course, FTR is proud of them for what they have accomplished. Now, the Acclaim, as you know, recently been throwing promos. But however, apparently the Hurt Business have their sights set on Max Caster. So we'll see what happens until then from there. Our next match, we have Roderick Strong taking on Beast Mortos. Now remember, Jake the Snake Roberts was not too keen what Roderick Strong was trying to do with Beast Mortos. He feels that he is getting involved that doesn't concern him. But Beast Mortos did not have anything under control. He completely lost his composure. He was not too keen on trying to hurt Roderick Strong. It may have cost him when the jumping knee was in play. And then, of course, Roderick Strong was all by himself. No Bennett, no Taven. The Archer and Brian Cage showed up. Just like that. Well, Archer did most of the work with the blackout, and just like that, it was completely done. Now, Mariah May, as you know, continues to run her mouth, interviewing that people are scared of her, that this is her division. However, Anna Jay was interviewed by Lex Neer saying that she wants part 2 of this match between them or so. But Anna Jay said that if she does not win this match, she will not challenge it as long as Mariah May is the champion. So we'll see what happens until then. Now, Chris Statlander takes on Ashley Voss. Well, you can guess that this match ended with a Saturday Night Fever, but however, it was Mercedes Moné that showed up and attacked Chris Statlander. So, of course, it was typical of her that she was going to do that. So, no secret there. Now, of course, Rush, along with Jake and Drelisico, had a little, well, you can say a bit of a discussion towards these Mortals for not pulling through on Roderick Strong. So, he's giving one another opportunity. Our next match, we have the TNT title in an open challenge. We have Jack Perry versus Action Andretti. Well, you can guess this match ended with Jack Perry with the knee strike. And then, of course, during post-match promo, well, Jack was about to make something until Daniel Garcia showed, so he wanted to challenge him. But Jack Perry saying that he's not ready. Well, we think it's a little horse crap, but we'll see what happens. Now, we did see an interview with Garcia and Daddy Magic talking about what transpired. Daddy Magic saying that Jack Perry doesn't think he's ready, that he doesn't know what he's talking about. So he's giving that pep talk like any other person would do. Now, our next match, we have AR Fox versus Nick Wayne. Now, remember, not too long ago, Nick Wayne was attacked by AR Fox and Swerve back then. This is a bit of a measure of payback for what just transpired. But of course, his mom, since he's a mama's boy, and Kip Sabian got involved. But it was the Wayne's World that sealed the deal for, no, it was a Canadian Destroy, my bad, my notes or not. It was a Canadian Destroyer by Nick Wayne to pick up the win, and then he stapled the photo right in his forehead, thinking he's gonna get away with it. I was hoping the Hook was gonna show up and take matters in those guys, but we'll see what happens. Now, we did see an interview with Lex Lanier talking about the possibility of a collab between both, of course, Johnny TV. Now, apparently that they are going to do that, and they try to do that thing with the pose that they do. Instead of like being dragged, they use one of those. I don't know if you call them dollies, but yeah, that's what it was. Now, our main event is the AEW World Trios titles. Death Riders, Pac, Claudio, and Wheeler taking on the conglomeration, O'Reilly, Briscoe, and Ishii. But however, at some point of this match, when things were not going well for the Death Riders, well, Jon Moxley got involved, bringing Marina Shafir, and then just like that, it was over with Death Rider picking up the win. And then Orange Cassidy showed up, and things becoming very, very interesting, just like that. So, but it was the Busaiku knee by Wheeler Yuta onto, of course, onto Kyle O'Reilly just to pick up the win. So the war between Orange Cassidy and Jon Moxley continues, but we'll see what happens until then. But for now, we'll leave things as it is and go do our last thing, news updates. So, welcome to our news updates. So, let's begin with upcoming events from the promotions. We only have two. Now, as you know, GCW will be in Jersey City for Bloodsport 12 on the 29th of 24th of November. We have the Walking Weapon. Josh Alexander takes on Speedball Mike Bailey. So that's going to be a good one. And then, of course, the Ladies Night Out 14 takes place on December 1st. The Mission Pro Wrestling Championship will be defended. Izzy Moreno takes on Catalina Cruz, so that's going to be a fun match. Now, for our developments, we have Julie Hart. Apparently, Fightful Select PW Insider reports that there is the chance that she will be making her return. I can't wait to see her again. Fightful Select reports Timothy Thatcher. As you know, he's now involved with the WWE ID as a coach or trainer. Still unclear on that. Bubba Ray Dudley, or as we know him, Bully Ray, signed a WWE Legends deal. So basically, we will see him at certain points. Wrestling Observer reports that there's been negotiations for a Ring of Honor TV deal. So they're still negotiating on that. So I think many of us are expecting. Now, finally, speaking of WWE ID, we have two more names that have been added. We have, of course, Sam Hadway Holloway from International Wrestling Cartel, which is down in Canada. And then, of course, Marcus Mathers. You may know him from GCW. So we'll see what happens until then. But for now, we'll leave things as it is, and we're done with all of it. So let's just call it a day. Well, I hope everybody enjoys this episode. Coming up, we haven't decided yet, but however, I am knowing that I have missed out on certain events. I'm going to see what I can do to catch up with those. That'll be a priority at some point, but I will not be able to do a whole lot as much as possible, but we'll just wait and see what happens. But until then, I will see you guys on the next DWZ time, same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye, and have a nice day. Bang.